Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or hi, my name is Stacy if you're new here. So today's topic is really exciting because I wanted to talk about my current top 5 favorite blushes, both cream and powder. So as we all know, blush has been super trendy recently, and so many brands have come out with their own blush collections, and the market is just becoming really saturated with both cream blushes and powder blushes. So I'm here to help you all out, to let you know which blushes you should pick up. I think that you need these blushes in your life, if not all 5, at least one of them. I think that they're truly unique and bring something of value to the market that hasn't been done before. And before we get into the video, I would love it if you'd all comment, and subscribe if you're interested in watching more content like this. And yeah, let's just get right into the video. This isn't in any specific order, but I'm just gonna start off with the M Cosmetics So Soft blushes. These are a cream blush that come in a stick format. So they swatch very pigmented, as in one swipe looks like full opacity. But as you can see, when you blend it out, it just blends so effortlessly. I have a ton of stick blushes in my collection, and one of the reasons why I chose the M So Soft blushes is because they blend like no other. Also, given the amount of color payoff they have, the blushes are extremely pigmented, yet they blend out like a dream. They're so soft, like clouds, as M Cosmetics says. I think that you can't go wrong with this blush. It's very beginner friendly. I also like that I think it's deep skin tone friendly because of the high pigment, but it also works for lighter skin tones because it's so blendable. Another thing I like is that I think the shades are relatively unique. So I only have 4 shades here, but there are 6 total in the collection. I didn't get the orange one and the berry one because those aren't really my tones. I go more for nudie or pinky blush tones. So I have the 4 blushes swatched here. So this is Lychee, this is Baby, this is Pearl Tea, and this is Venetian Rose. And I'm just gonna blend them out. So as you can see, super easy. So yeah, I feel like the shades are super unique because, let me use my pinky to blend this one. Because you don't usually find a soft baby pink like this. I think this peach is actually relatively unique too. It's kind of hard to find a peach that's not exactly, it's not too orange, not too pink. This is a very nice nudie color. It's perfect for those of you who are afraid of blush, I guess. Looks very natural. It will never look like it's too much. And then this is good for anyone who likes rosy tones or has a medium to deeper skin tone. It just shows how versatile this product is. I feel like it stands out from the other cream blushes in terms of its pigmentation, as in it's not sheer pigmentation, but it's very buildable and blendable. And I think it's one of the most easily blendable stick blushes out there. I would say it's kind of like a natural satin finish. Not super dewy, definitely not matte though. It'll have the same finish as whatever skin products you put on before it have. So I also think it's very versatile in terms of if you have an oily skin type, if you have a dry skin type, I think this would work for most skin types. So the next blush we have up are the Patrick Ta blush duos. They look like this, where there's a cream on top and a powder on the bottom. I like these blushes because they're super innovative, I think. So basically, according to Patrick Ta, you're supposed to put the powder first and then the cream on top, which kind of goes against what most people are taught in makeup at first, which is that you're supposed to put creams first and then powders to set it. But honestly, you can do it either way with this product, which is kind of what makes it so amazing, as in the cream does not disrupt this powder. It doesn't disrupt any powder, to be honest. And I think the finish of both of these is perfect. The cream is very thin. It gives a slightly dewy finish, but because it's very thin, it doesn't feel like you have lip gloss or a really heavy thing on your face. It just gives you that beautiful glowing from within look. And even the powder actually has a satin finish. It's not a flat matte powder, and I think it would work for dry skin as well. And lastly, I think the really important thing about this blush is the tones in this collection, I think are amazing. So I think my favorite blush from this is She's So LA. It's this brownie rosy tone blush, and it looks kind of ugly in the pan, not gonna lie, but it's so beautiful. I have a tutorial up on my channel using this one so you can kind of see like what it actually looks like. Basically, it doesn't look like a brown color on your cheeks. It's more just like a beautiful natural kind of sunburnt flush that's literally unclockable. Like you can't tell that you're wearing blush. And I think it's perfect for those people who are, again, scared of wearing blush or brighter colors of blush. It's extremely natural. So this is, She's So LA is the one to go if you only want to pick up one from this line. I love that you can come up with so many different combinations. Like you can just use the cream, you can just use the powder, you can use the cream on top of the powder, you can use the powder on top of the cream. You could literally do whatever you want with these combos. And I love that it's kind of like, the powder is a little bit more subtle, the cream has a little bit more punch, or it's a slightly more vibrant color. That's true for all of these actually. As you can see here, the cream is a little bit more vibrant. So it just allows you to have that like watercolor layered blush look, which I think is super beautiful. Same with this one. So yeah, all of these, Patrick Ta, he really did something there. And I feel like he should get kudos because this product is just super innovative, and I think it makes it, that's what makes it stand out from the rest of the blushes in the market. Moving on to my next blush, I'm gonna go with the Makeup by Mario powder blushes. To be honest, I've been on a cream blush kick, as I think most people have, especially because the summer and the whole dewy skin look is in right now. But I think powder blushes will never go out of style. They're very classic. You can't go wrong with them. I think some people with drier skin types tend to not like those because they can emphasize dryness, but powder blushes are always good for those who have textured skin, so it doesn't emphasize your texture. So I have an oilier skin type, but something that has made me more drawn to cream blushes instead of powder blushes is the finish, because I'm really into the dewy skin right now. So how did this powder blush make it onto this list? Well, I think this powder blush is actually super unique because it doesn't take away all of the glow, which I think is something extremely hard to find in a powder blush. Because I own many powder blushes, okay? Because powder blush used to be, she was the main girl, you know? She was that it girl. Where I'm going with this is that traditional powder blush has always been very mattifying, so it's very good to cover up your pores and any texture that you may have. But I think that it can cause dryness, and it can also kind of flatten your face and again take away the glow if you want to have a glowy face. So this blush, this Makeup by Mario blush, is so unique because it actually keeps like a satin kind of natural glow. I think another thing that's really unique about this powder blush is that there's no kick up in the pan. So I'm gonna show you right here. Basically, I press with my blush brush, right? You see like nothing came out. It's very, I guess you could say it's pretty hardly pressed, but when you feel it, when you swatch it, it's very silky, soft, so it doesn't feel dry or chalky at all. It's a very, very buildable blush, and I think it's particularly good for lighter skin tones. Not to say that deeper skin tones can't use it, because again, it's buildable, but you would have to build more layers. But I find these to be super user-friendly, especially like for a person of my skin tone. They just build up so easily, and these days a lot of blushes are very pigmented, or if they're not pigmented, they're just like, they just don't show up and they're like super chalky and you're like, why did I buy this blush? But these are both silky smooth, pigmented, yet buildable, so it starts off sheer. And the colors I have, I think, are meant for lighter skin tones, but there were a couple more deeper blushes if you have a deeper skin tone. These are honestly, I think, one of the most perfect powder blush formulas. I personally haven't found many powder blushes like this on the market. It obviously doesn't add glow, and it doesn't leave your face dewy for obvious reasons because it's a powder, but it will keep a very natural finish to your skin. It doesn't completely mattify or flatten everything on your face, which I really like, and I think is very hard to find. Moving on to the next makeup product. So this is also by the same brand. It's Makeup by Mario, his stick blushes. So as I said before, I have been super into cream blush. So this was actually the first one I bought, and then I bought the powder blush after. I honestly wasn't expecting that much from this because, I don't know, it just seemed very basic, and the colors initially didn't really speak to me, but the more I have been wearing it, the more I've been liking them and finding how they're like more unique and stuff. I think what makes this stick blush special is that it reminds me of watercolor. Here, let me swatch this and compare it to the M Cosmetics blushes, which are also a very good stick blush formula, but they're very different. So this is the shade Dusty Rose. I'm just gonna swatch this on my hand. So it's also very pigmented in one swipe. Ooh, and then maybe I'll swipe Venetian Rose since it's kind of a similar and it has rose in it. I'll swatch it on this side. So I swiped both of them, one swipe. They both are very pigmented. They'll definitely show up on you. But I think, I don't know if you can tell, but the Makeup by Mario one has this sheerness to it where it's, I don't know if you can see, but you can like see my vein through it, even though it's very pigmented. It's like this translucent pigment. Whereas this M Cosmetics one, so super blendable, again, super pigmented, but it kind of almost like adds coverage, as I think a lot of cream blushes do, as you can see here. There's just like this sheerness to the Makeup by Mario one, which I think is very unique. See here, it looks more watercolory than the M Cosmetics one. The ability to see your skin through the blush I think is really cool. It makes it a very unique formula. So yeah, the finish of this is, I would say, relatively dewy, as in it adds a glow to whatever you have. But again, it has a very thin texture. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything glossy, heavy, or sticky on your face. Like your hair won't stick to your face or anything like that. And the other thing I like is that it comes with a brush on the end. I know some people kind of like roast these things where they have like the dual-ended brush, but honestly, I really like this brush. I think it really works well, and it's very soft. It's a very nice brush for the type of brush that like comes with the product, and I feel like it's very good for on the go. So I have all of the blushes swatched right here. We have Earthy Pink, Pale Petal, Soft Coral, Dusty Rose, and Raspberry. So I really like this range of shades. And I think what else makes this product super unique is its blendability. I mean, all cream blushes nowadays are relatively blendable. For all the good cream blushes out there, I don't think you'll have the problem when you place the product and it just like doesn't move or like whatever. It's just like the way that these blend out so effortlessly and so seamlessly. It's just perfect, and it'll give you the perfect glowy finish if you're looking for that, and it just looks so like beautiful and like watercolory. As you can see, I really focus on the blendability because I just think it kind of makes it one level above the rest of the cream blushes that I have. Because I mean, most cream blushes are good, you know, most of the ones I have are good, but these are great. Lastly, we have up the Pat McGrath powder blushes. As I said before, it's kind of hard for me to find a powder blush that I think is special and one that maintains a glow and doesn't flatten your face, yet it also covers your pores and everything. But these Pat McGrath blushes are it, girl. They are the it girl, okay? Pat McGrath has two blush formulas. She has her demi matte finish and also the, I don't know what it's called, like the glowy finish. So here's Divine Rose. This is the demi matte one. And then here's Nymphette, which is a Pat McGrath website exclusive. And I don't know if you can see here, but it has kind of like a golden shimmer running throughout it. So I guess I'm gonna give my thoughts on these two blush formulas separately. I think the demi matte formula, beautiful, beautiful. Chef's kiss, amazing, okay? When I first put it on, I wasn't expecting to be blown away, but it's just so beautiful. It's such a good powder blush. It's all of the other things of the Makeup by Mario one that I said, as in it doesn't take away the glow, it takes away your pores, it gives you a beautiful satin finish to your skin and just looks super natural. I think the one thing that makes it slightly different than the Makeup by Mario blushes though is that it's more pigmented. So I think the Pat McGrath ones are actually more suited for deeper skin tones, but not saying that lighter skin tones can't use them. They're very buildable. And I think the other thing I like about the Pat McGrath blushes, which is similar to the Makeup by Mario one, is that there isn't much kick up in the pan. Like, I think I tend to like these harder pressed powder blushes just because I think they're more buildable and they're less powdery and chalky on your face. They just don't take up the glow as much as other powder blushes do. Plus this embossing, is that not the most beautiful thing ever? Then on the shimmery finish, the glowy finish, So I think that some people may be intimidated by this because it has a relatively strong flip in the pan, but on your face it just adds the most beautiful glow. It's basically like a blush light, like it's a blush and highlighter in one. You probably don't need highlighter if you have this. I probably wouldn't recommend it if you have very textured skin, like, you know, on your cheekbones or in the area that you would apply blush. I think that it honestly works very well. So first of all, there's no detectable shimmer, which is something that's very hard to find in like a shimmery blush. It gives a very natural glow. If you have an oily skin type and you just don't want to add any cream products, you just don't like the feeling of them, then I would recommend something like this. It's super beautiful. It adds a fake glow to your skin without emphasizing texture that much. I will say if you have very textured skin, it probably will emphasize it a little bit depending on how much you put on. Something else I think I really like about the line of blushes is there's 9 shades, so there's a lot of colors. There's a color for everyone out there. I think the shades are very nuanced. I mean, I trust Pat McGrath's vision for a lot of like makeup products. So I really like the shades that she put out. And it's good shades for everyone from very fair skin tones to very deep skin tones. So you'll definitely find something that suits you. So yeah, like I wasn't expecting to love any powdered blushes this much, honestly, because I've only been super into creams, but those 2 powders really stuck out to me. That's all for today's video. I hope you found it really helpful to kind of discern in today's market which blushes you think might suit you the best. These are obviously my top favorites. They're not going to be everyone's, so it's just my opinion, and I hope that you learned something or found what I said helpful. If you'd like to see more content like this, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support really means a lot to me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time in my next video. Bye!